Hi, and welcome to this Fornav coffee break. My name is Peter van der Vetlo. I'm a product specialist at Fornav, and I will be your presenter today. As this coffee break is live, you can ask your questions via the GoToWebinar question window. We will answer them at the end of the coffee break. In this video, we will set up a layout so that the header does not display a blank space if a field doesn't contain a value. For example, not every sales order in my database has a salesperson code attached to it. And when there isn't, I don't want to display that field and that caption, but I also don't want to display a blank space in the middle of the column. I will demonstrate how to avoid those white spaces in a Business Central report header using Fornav in 4 steps. Prerequisites, what do I need to get going? In step 2, I'm going to make set up a JavaScript array for certain fields in the header table. In step 3, I will display the values in the array as 2 lists in 2 columns. And in step 4, I will use the values in separate text boxes to better match the layout. For today's presentation, I am using a Business Central Docker environment with the Business Central 2023 Wave 1 release. I have installed the Universal Code Fornav Customizable Report Pack extension version 7.1, and I have executed the step-by-step wizard from the assisted setup to get started. Of course, everything I do today is also possible on the Fornav Customizable Report Pack extension for Business Central Cloud. I also have the Fornav Designer installed on my PC. The Fornav Designer can be downloaded from the Fornav website. To avoid a blank space on the sales order header, I am going to use a JavaScript array. In the Fornav Designer, I am going to set up a variable, which I am going to call header fields. And I'm going to use that to store the captions and values of various header fields from the header table. To do this, I will go to the designer, which I've already opened, where I have opened a sales order layout. Now first, I have to declare this variable, which I will do in the header data item in onPre-data item. So before the data item is loaded, I want to declare the header field variable, and I will also announce that it is an array, which is with the square brackets, and I haven't put anything between them, so for the moment it is an empty array. Now it's empty, but I want to fill that array with captions and values from the header table. I can't do that in onPre-data item because it's pre-data item. The data item header hasn't been loaded yet, but I can do it after we've gotten the record. So on after get record, that property, and I will say if my document date, if there is a document date, so if header dot field extensions dot document date has value, which will return a true or false. If it has value, I want to push something to the end of my header fields. And what do I want to push? Under caption, I want the header field captions, document date, comma, and under value, I want to have simply the document date itself. And I will also do this, of course, for the other two things. But instead of document date, it will be salesperson code. Salesperson code. Salesperson code. Oh, not that one. Salesperson code. And finally, the due date. Due date due dates, and due dates. And now if I run several documents in a row in a single print order, I wouldn't want to accidentally carry over the old values. So before this if statement, I will empty the array. I will say header fields is an empty array. So it throws away all the old muck it may have picked up. So let's see what it picks up. We will make a text box, put it in the corner. Let's set it up to display from the top left. Let's give it multi-line, yes, and can grow also, because let's check what it's picked up. Let's stringify what it's found for us. So we can just order it to JSON stringify. There it is. And what do I want it to stringify? I want it to stringify header fields, and now it will just give me. Oh, don't forget to give it a nice Misty Rose color. Misty Rose, there it is. Let's check it out. Let's see what it does. Preview. Right. So we can see here, this is the entire array between the square brackets. And it's given me a caption. The caption is document date, and the value corresponding to that is, well, this thing, this entire date thing. Caption, value, caption, value. Now these dates, they don't look pretty. So first things first, let's make the dates pretty. It's nice that we can see that now. So going back to where we set up on after get record, where we set up what we wanted to do. And let's format the date using per report.net format. We'll put that in brackets and comma date, month, year. So it will now give me 2 digits for the date, a dash, 2 digits for the month, dash, and 4 digits for the year. And I also want this for the due date. And don't forget to make it due date again. All right. Just for the hell of it, let's preview it again. Preview. And yes, this is much better. Day, month, year. Much better. All right. Now, stringify was a lovely way to quickly check the array for completeness or for checking the formatting, as we've seen, but it's not really a nice looking output for our documents. So let's try to make something that looks somewhat more presentable. Now for this, I will use the map and the join functions. So in the designer, first, I will make a text box, as we do. Make it tall. I will align it to the top left. I will make it Misty Rose. And then here in the source expression, I will say header fields dot map, and now I will give it the order to get all my caption fields, like that. And now it collects all my caption fields. And what do I want to do with them? I want to join them. And do I want to separate them? Yes, of course, because otherwise it would be a long, long list of just captions. And I will make a new line for every field it's found, every caption field it's found. So, okay. Now if I control, click and drag, I can put them exactly beside each other and it makes a duplicate. It's the control, click and drag, it makes a duplicate. Nice trick. If I make this one value, and then I make this one bold, just like here. The captions are bold and the values are not bold. And let's save it as a custom layout. Activate it, preview it. Let's see what it's done. And you can see document date. It's made two nice columns. In the next one, there isn't a salesperson code, so it's not done the salesperson code. And then the next one, it has a salesperson code. And then so this works. It looks pretty, but one problem that may arise is that these two columns, I've made them start from the same height, but they are not necessarily matched. The captions, they are bold, so they take up slightly more height than the values. And given a different caption or a different value, or given enough rows, the rows in each column may grow apart, and that's not always okay. So what I can do instead is use, in this case, the text boxes, they're already there. I can use new text boxes if I wanted to. And I will order those text boxes. I will set up those text boxes. Delete that one and move these to the very top so they don't clutter around. I will order those text boxes to give me the captions and the values, respectively, of the first and the second and the third items in the header fields array. I can do that by saying header fields, and if I put square brackets behind it and put a number bit in there, it's going to be that number in the order. So if I will see caption after this. Now JavaScript is of course a bit weird, so the first one in the array is the zeroth one in the JavaScript numbering. So this will give us the first caption in header fields. I will copy paste this to all these. And I will change this one to 1, this one to 2, and I will change this one, obviously, to value, because in this column we want the values, as we've said before. So copy paste it here as well. And 1 and 2. This is a riveting part of the coffee break. Let's check out what it does. All right. I forgot to make it a nice color, but it's still this column. This one works. This one works. And this one, where we do have all 3 values, it only gives me 2 of the values. So it doesn't work perfectly yet if I do multiples. Right. So what I can do is I can check if it needs to do anything. So I will give it a ternary to say, to check if the header field's length is more than the current row. In that case, I wanted to show the caption in this case. And if it's not longer than this, then I just want it to show blank. And again, a lot of copying. So, of course, if I did this functionally, I would have done it immediately, right? But just to show you, I'm gonna keep typing it out. And I promise this is the last one. This will be the value again. Copy, paste. Two. All right, and I won't forget to make it Misty Rose, otherwise they would feel left behind. Save and activate. Preview, and let's see what it does. This one shows the document date again, neatly in order. This one doesn't show the salesperson code because there isn't one. And this one now shows again nicely the document dates and the salesperson code in order. So let's recap what we just did. We wanted to avoid a blank space in the document header when something did not have a value. First, we created a JavaScript array to store values and captions from the header table. We checked the array using stringify function and formatted the data output. We used map and join to output a list of captions and a list of values. And lastly, we set up some text boxes to display the captions and values in the array, and we added a ternary check to filter out the empty values. Thank you for listening to me so far. Let's see if we have any questions. Well, give you a few more moments to ask them if you have them. In the meantime, if you want to know more about Fornav, or if you want to download the Fornav Designer and Converter, please visit our website. If you want to install Fornav in Business Central Cloud, please visit the Microsoft App Source. You can watch more videos about Fornav on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/fornavreports. If you have any questions about Fornav, please email them to support@fornav.com. For a full list of upcoming and recorded coffee breaks, please visit fornav.com/coffeebreaks. And if there really aren't any questions, nope, still not. Thank you so much for listening, and goodbye.